everyone. Welcome to Sam's Summaries. This episode is a deep dive discussion into Sam Fury's summary of the book You Wish Your Parents Had Read by Philippa Perry. It has been created with the help of AI. You can read the original summary at samfury.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a book that's been making waves in the parenting world. Philippa Perry's The Book You Wish Your Parents Had Read.
Such a good one.
I know, right? And it's not just for parents of little ones either. It's for anyone who wants to understand how their childhood experiences shape how they show up in relationships.
It's like therapy for your inner child, but also a guide to breaking those generational patterns.
Exactly. We're going to unpack all sorts of juicy insights, from understanding those pesky emotional triggers to building a supportive environment where kids can truly thrive.
And Perry doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either.
No, she gets real.
Like, did you know that even babies communicate through, like, synchronized breathing? It's wild.
Oh, we're going to get into all that.
So much to uncover.
I'm excited to dive in. And what I love about Perry's approach is that she doesn't frame our childhood experiences as something to blame our parents for, you know?
Right. It's not about pointing fingers.
It's about understanding those experiences as valuable data points.
Yes. Like a roadmap to understanding our own patterns.
Exactly. So the book kicks off by exploring how those unresolved issues from our childhood can actually play out in our parenting.
Yeah, like you might be overreacting to something your kid does, and it might seem totally out of proportion.
Like a meltdown over spilled milk.
Yeah, exactly. Perry suggests that's a clue to look a little deeper. Maybe mealtimes were like a battleground in your own family growing up.
Oh, I see. So you're not just reacting to the mess, you're reacting to all that old baggage.
Yeah, that's the key. Recognizing those patterns is like step one to breaking free.
So awareness is everything.
Huge, yeah. And she also talks about this thing called rupture and repair.
Okay, rupture and repair, what's that all about?
So ruptures are those moments when, well, let's face it, we mess up as parents.
We're all human, right?
We lose our cool, we say something we regret, or we miss the mark and our kid feels disconnected.
Those moments sting.
They do. But the repair part is where the magic happens. It's about acknowledging the hurt we caused, offering a genuine apology, and rebuilding that connection.
So it's not about being perfect, it's about owning our mistakes and trying to make things right.
Exactly. And Perry argues that those moments of rupture and repair are actually really important for building healthy relationships with our kids.
Interesting. How so?
Well, it teaches them about forgiveness, about resilience, and it shows them that relationships can be messy, but still strong, you know?
Like weathering the storms together.
Exactly. It's a powerful message. Now, I know this whole, like, digging into our past thing can feel a bit daunting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Perry recommends things like journaling, therapy, or even just talking it out with a trusted friend or family member.
I think it's so easy to underestimate the power of just talking it out, getting those feelings out of our heads.
Oh, totally. And the goal is to become more aware of that inner critic, you know, that voice that can be pretty harsh on ourselves and, without meaning to, on our kids.
Oh, for sure.
Think about it. If you're constantly putting yourself down, your kids might pick up on that and start doing the same.
Wow, I've never thought about it that way.
It's powerful stuff, right?
It really is. You know, it makes me think about, like, how my mom used to always apologize for her cooking, even when it was delicious.
Oh, interesting.
And now I find myself doing the exact same thing.
Oh, wow.
It's like I'm passing on that self-critical attitude without even realizing it.
It's incredible how much our own experiences shape our parenting, isn't it? But the good news is, once we become aware of those patterns, we can start to break them.
We can rewrite the script.
Exactly. So instead of criticizing yourself, try to model self-acceptance and show your kids that it's okay to make mistakes, you know?
Lead by example.
Right. It's like we're not just raising kids, we're also reparenting ourselves along the way.
Love that. And this idea of creating a supportive environment isn't just about how we interact with our kids. It's about the whole family dynamic, right?
Absolutely. Perry emphasizes that it's not about the structure of the family, it's about the quality of the relationships within that unit, you know?
So traditional families, single-parent households, blended families, it's all about the connection.
Yeah. What matters is that sense of love and respect, that foundation of support.
And that can be tricky, especially when parents are separated.
Oh, for sure. Co-parenting can be a real challenge.
But Perry doesn't shy away from that either.
No, she offers some great advice. Like, even if things are tense with your ex, she says, Avoid bad-mouthing each other in front of your child.
Makes sense. Kids are like sponges, absorbing everything.
Totally. They
Yeah.
pick up on those vibes even if they don't fully understand what's being
It
said.
can really shake their sense of security.
It can.
Okay.
So it's about putting those differences aside and prioritizing your child's well-being, even when it's tough.
Co-parenting with grace, you could say.
Exactly. Perry argues that co-parenting effectively, even after separation, can actually be a really valuable lesson for kids. It shows them that it's possible to disagree respectfully and that relationships can evolve without falling apart completely.
It's like modeling healthy conflict resolution.
Right. And speaking of understanding feelings, this is where things get really interesting. Perry dedicates a whole section to the power of validating our children's emotions.
Oh, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
It's like you're giving them this superpower, validating their feelings.
Okay, I love that, a superpower. But what exactly does she mean by validating feelings?
So it's about recognizing and acknowledging your child's feelings, both the good ones and the not so good ones,
Right.
without judgment. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to agree with them or
Yeah.
condone their behavior. It's simply about letting them know that you see them, you hear them.
You get it.
Yeah, you get their experience.
I think this is where so many of us get tripped up, right?
Yeah,
We want to fix it, or we want to tell them to, like, just stop crying, or,
get over it.
yeah, it's not a big deal.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But Perry highlights that, like, dismissing or denying those feelings, even if they seem irrational to us as adults, can actually have, like, these long-term consequences for their emotional health.
It makes sense.
Right. Think about it. If you were constantly told your feelings were wrong or silly,
Oh, totally.
you might start to believe that you weren't allowed to feel those things.
Right, and then what do you do with those feelings?
Exactly. So it's like
They're still there.
they're still there, but
You just bury them.
you bury them. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And so Perry encourages parents to be a container for their child's emotions.
Okay, container. That's an interesting image. What does she mean by that?
Think of it like you're providing a safe space for your child's emotions to exist without getting overwhelmed by them yourself. You're listening with empathy, acknowledging their feelings, and helping them process those emotions in a healthy way, maybe through talking, drawing, or even just a good hug.
Love that. So it sounds like this whole idea of validation, it starts really early, like even during pregnancy
Yeah.
and those early days of parenthood.
Absolutely. Because bringing a new life into the world, it's a roller coaster of emotions, right?
Oh, for sure. Joy, anxiety, exhaustion, you name it.
And Perry emphasizes the importance of processing those feelings in a healthy way. She also talks about approaching pregnancy and childbirth with flexibility and acceptance.
So knowing that things might not go according to plan.
Right, because let's face it, babies don't exactly come with instruction manuals.
Oh, I wish they did.
Right. But it's okay to not have it all figured out and to lean on your support system when you need it.
You're not alone.
Exactly. And that same approach extends to those early weeks with a newborn.
Those first few weeks can be so intense.
They are. But remember, babies are communicating with us from day one, even if it's not through words.
I love that. They're little bundles of communication.
They are. Perry even talks about this concept of sleep nudging as a gentle alternative to more traditional sleep training methods.
Sleep nudging. Okay, I have to admit, I haven't heard of that. What is it?
So it's about gently guiding your baby towards independent sleep by responding to their cues.
Okay.
Like, picking them up when they cry, but gradually reducing the amount of time you hold them, or patting them while they're in their crib. You're acknowledging their need for comfort and connection,
Right.
while also helping them learn to self-soothe.
So it's like finding that sweet spot between responsiveness and encouraging independence.
Exactly. It's all connected, right?
Yeah.
And this brings us to another key point that Perry makes, which is that those early interactions, those moments of connection and responsiveness, they actually form the foundation for your child's mental health.
Oh, wow, that's powerful.
Right. So it's not just about, making sure they're fed and changed.
Yeah.
It's about nurturing that emotional connection from day one.
So like those seemingly small moments, like sharing a smile, mimicking your baby's coos, even those moments of like synchronized breathing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perry calls it reciprocal communication.
Love that.
And it's happening even before your baby can say their first word.
It's like they're already in a conversation.
They are, yeah. You're responding to each other, building a sense of trust and security.
It's amazing how much is going on in those early days.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, Perry also cautions against excessive phone use around children.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. Because think about it, if you're constantly checking your phone, your child might feel like they're not as important.
They're competing for your attention.
Exactly. And that can lead to feelings of, loneliness and disconnection.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in our devices and miss those precious moments of connection.
It's a constant struggle, right?
It is. We all do it.
But Perry encourages us to be mindful of our phone use and to prioritize those moments of face-to-face interaction.
Yeah. Even putting the phone away for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's just being present.
Making eye contact.
It can make a world of difference.
Quality time over quantity, right?
Exactly. Those moments of genuine connection, those are the ones that really count.
Now, I know he's been talking a lot about feelings, but what about behavior?
Yeah.
How does Perry approach those challenging moments when kids are, acting out, pushing boundaries?
This is where it gets really fascinating, I think, because Perry argues that all behavior is a form of communication. It's like it's a message, a way for your child to tell you something, even if they don't have the words to express it directly.
So instead of seeing them as being difficult or manipulative, we need to try to understand what's going on beneath the surface.
Exactly. It's like your child is behaving in a certain way for a reason. Maybe they're tired, hungry, overwhelmed.
Or just having a bad day.
Yeah. Instead of jumping to punishment or trying to control their behavior,
Right.
Perry encourages us to get curious. Yeah. What is my child trying to communicate through their actions? What are they feeling or needing in this moment? It might not be obvious at first, but by shifting your perspective, you can start to see those challenging behaviors as opportunities for connection and understanding.
So it's like that saying, children are not giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time.
Yes, exactly. And when we can approach those difficult moments with empathy and curiosity, we're less likely to get triggered ourselves and more likely to find solutions that work for everyone.
It sounds like it takes a lot of patience and self-regulation on our part.
It does. It does. But remember, you're not alone in this.
Yeah.
And Perry offers a ton of practical advice and strategies for navigating those tough moments. And she reminds us that investing time in those positive parenting practices, like listening, validating, and helping our children learn to express their feelings constructively,
Right.
will ultimately pay off in the long run.
It's like you're building a foundation.
Right? Exactly. It's like you're building a foundation for a strong and healthy relationship, one that can weather any storm.
Speaking of building a strong foundation, how do we set limits while also encouraging our kids to become self-sufficient?
It is tricky, but Perry believes that setting boundaries with empathy is key.
Right.
It's not about being authoritarian or
Right.
controlling. It's about creating a safe and predictable environment where your child can thrive.
Yeah, where they can flourish.
Exactly. It's like, think of it like a fence around a playground.
Okay.
It keeps the kids safe while still giving them plenty of space to explore and play.
I love that analogy. So how do we actually go about setting those boundaries in a way that feels, respectful and supportive?
So instead of just saying no or dictating what your child should do,
Right.
Perry recommends focusing on your own feelings and needs.
Oh, interesting.
Like, for example, let's say your child keeps interrupting you while you're on an important work call.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Instead of snapping at them or sending them away, try saying something like, I feel frustrated when I'm interrupted during work. I need you to wait until I'm finished with this call.
So you're explaining the impact of their behavior
Yes.
and setting a clear expectation
Exactly.
without making it a personal attack.
Exactly. And you're also modeling, healthy communication skills.
Right, because kids are always watching.
They are, yeah. Children learn by watching us. And when we can express our own needs and boundaries respectfully, they're more likely to do the same.
It all comes back to that leading by example.
It does, yeah. Now, boundaries are important, but so is fostering independence, right?
Right, that's the other side of the coin.
It's that delicate balance of guiding them while also giving them the space to make their own choices and learn from their mistakes.
So we shouldn't try to field them from every obstacle or jump in to rescue them at the first sign of trouble.
Think back to your own childhood. Did you learn more from the times you were allowed to, struggle a bit? To figure things out on your own?
Oh, absolutely. Those were the moments that really stuck with me.
Right. When we allow children to navigate, age-appropriate challenges,
Yeah.
even if it makes us a little uncomfortable as parents.
It's so hard to watch them struggle.
It is. But we're actually helping them develop those valuable skills like problem solving.
Resilience.
Resilience.
Self-reliance.
Exactly. It's like we're building their confidence muscle.
I love that. And it's not like we're just throwing them to the wolves, right?
No, not at all.
We're still there to support them.
We're providing a safety net.
A safety net, exactly.
While also encouraging them to spread their wings and soar.
Beautiful. Well, this whole deep dive has been so eye-opening. It feels like Perry's book is really about shifting our perspective on parenting, from seeing it as a series of tasks to check off or problems to solve to recognizing it as an incredible opportunity to build this strong and loving connection with our child.
Well said. It's about embracing the journey, the ups and downs, the messiness and the magic of it all.
The whole beautiful mess.
The whole beautiful mess. And it's never too late to start making those changes, to shift your mindset and approach parenting with more intention and awareness.
No matter what stage of parenting you're in.
Exactly. Whether you're expecting your first child, navigating the teenage years, or even just reflecting on your own experiences as a grown child, Perry's insights offer this valuable guidance for creating a more nurturing and fulfilling parent-child relationship.
Yeah, it's a journey, not a destination, right?
Absolutely. And as you continue on this journey, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
As you've been listening to these insights, have you considered how your own childhood experiences might be influencing your parenting style? Are there any patterns you'd like to break? Any new approaches you want to try?
Oh, that's a powerful question for all of us to sit with. It's a reminder that self-awareness is an ongoing process.
It is.
And we can always learn and grow as parents.
Parenting is a lifelong journey of learning and evolving. And the more we understand ourselves and our children, the stronger and more loving those bonds can become.
Beautifully said. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the book you wish your parents had read. It's been a truly enlightening conversation.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, keep exploring these concepts and remember that every parent-child relationship is unique and precious. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep those connections strong.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Summaries. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com to get free access to all of Sam's original summaries, which you can download as PDFs, as well as other exclusive content. It's all completely free at samfury.com.